Hello, this is your favorite Professor Gamma. In this video, I'm going to share with you VLookup function in MS Excel and discuss examples to implement it so that you are ready to use it immediately. VLookup function is used to search for some required data from a large table based on a particular value. The V in VLookup refers to vertical. For example, we have the data of marks of 100 students in 10 different subjects. The first column is the roll number of the students, and then we have marks in subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 and so on up to subject 10. Now suppose we wish to find the marks of in subject 2 of student with roll number 25. Normally we would scroll down for roll number 25 and then read the marks in subject 2, that is 27 here. Now imagine this was to be done frequently for other roll numbers and in a long list of 1000 or more records. In such a case, scrolling the table looking for a particular row would be difficult and prone to errors. And in such situations we use VLookup function. The VLookup searches a value vertically in the first column and then gives the corresponding data. Now to understand it, let's use the function. As we are aware that all functions in MS Excel start with an equal to sign, and then we type VLookup the first argument is the lookup value, and in our case this is for roll number 25. So we type student with the roll number 25. The second argument is the table array or where to look up, where we select the entire table. And the third argument is the column index. In our case, as we are looking for subject 2, therefore the column number would be 1, 2, 3. That is, the column index would be 3. And the fourth argument is range lookup, that is, which asks for an approximate match or an exact match. So we type 0 for an exact match. We'll discuss the approximate match in the next video. Right now we'll select exact match for simplicity. Now if we need to search for any other roll number, we can simply change the arguments. For example, if we need the marks for roll number 35, then we can change the argument for instead of roll number 25 to roll number 35. See, and here we get the marks in subject 2 for roll number 35, that is 73. Or we may use cell reference for roll number by entering the values in another cell and referring the arguments to the same cell. This makes it easier to use different values and search for related data. So here we change the argument to the cell reference where we have entered the student roll number. So whenever we need to look for the marks of a different student, we simply need to change the roll number. Say for example in this case we change it to roll number 47 and we get the marks of roll number student with roll number 47 as 35. So this makes it easier to use the different values and search for related data. So there are a few points to remember whenever you are using VLookup so as to avoid mistakes. Remember, the data item to be searched should be in the first column of the table. When you enter the table array, it should include all the columns where the data is to be extracted from. Now I would demonstrate the application of VLookup with another example. Suppose we have customer data containing customer ID in the first column, code of the product sold in the second column. The third column contains the information if the customer liked the product. The fourth column is the number of prospects with whom the customer has shared the product information. And the last column tells us whether the customer is happy to make a repeat purchase. Now we want to know the code of the product purchased by different customers. For this, we mark cell as customer ID and the next cell as product code. Suppose we wish to know the details of customer with ID 42. As in the last example, we type the VLookup function starting from VLookup Then for the first argument, that is lookup value, we use the reference for the cell where we entered the customer ID to be searched. Second argument is the table array containing the customer details. Third argument is the column index number. So in our case it is column number 2. Then here we select exact match. As I mentioned earlier, we'll discuss approximate match in the next video. So here we get the product code purchased by customer number 42 as product P5 is the product code. Now suppose we wish to extract the complete record according to the customer ID. So we take the other cells and copy and paste the same and repeat the same process, changing the column index number as 3, 4 and 5. So for example, in the product code, the column index would be 2, and in the cell containing whether liked it or not, it would be 3. In the number shared, it would be 4, and the repeat purchase will be 5. So I repeat the same process with typing VLookup and keeping the cell values same, and the table index or table array would be the entire table, and in the liked it cell the column index would be 3, and the next would we'll select exact match, and I'll repeat the same process in the number of customers that the prospect had the data has been shared. Select the lookup value as the cell containing customer ID, and then I select the table array and column index as 4, and then exact match. So for repeat purchase, again I type VLookup, select cell as lookup value, and then I go for the table array and then select exact match. Column index would be 5. So now whenever we change the customer ID, we get the record of that particular customer. So for example, let's search for customer with ID 57. So here we get the entire record of customer with ID 57. So he bought product with code 4 and he has liked the product, and the number of prospects that he has shared the product is 899, and he is very likely to buy a repeat purchase. Similarly, for example, if I need the record of customer with ID 179, and voila, we get the complete record of customer ID with 179. This customer has the product with product code 7 and has liked the product and is likely to share with 1246 of his contacts and is very likely to go for a repeat purchase. In the next video, I'll share with you approximate match and HLookup. If this video helped you understand VLookup function, then share the knowledge with your friends and do like it and share. So that is VLookup function from Professor Gamma. Have a great time ahead.